whichever way you want, as long as it's in half. And
Hot dog or hamburger style. Okay, and I distributed some shapes. And you can pick any shape that you want.
so you choose the shape that you want, and you'll have, well, they'll choose the shape that they want, and then you'll have them draw the shape
Over the line.
over that
Because you
line
want to show the line of symmetry by
to
doing
show
that.
that it's, the shape is symmetrical. Do you guys understand? Any questions?
And then what you would do next is then you would fold the paper so that you'll be able to cut it out. Cut out the shape. And then when it's cut out, you can look at your paper and you can examine and see or find the line of symmetry on your sheet.
And of course, the teacher should be walking around,
Right.
making sure that they're understanding the concept. And they're not cutting their fingers.
You're gonna place it over the line that you fold it the other way, cut out the shape. So that you can
And they can use different shapes going down that line of symmetry. Now briefly, I don't know if you guys are still working, but briefly, we also thought of another idea that can be used, I guess as a, what would you want to call that? It's a follow-up?
No, this would,
The bottom.
no, this would actually be the second activity that we were not going to get
Go
into
into.
explain in the class, but this would
But
be
you
the
can
second
also-
activity that you can do.
You can do this as
With the
well,
students.
where you have them, you have this shape on a bigger piece of paper, and you have them figure out how many times this shape is symmetrical. So as you know, you can go like this, you can go from here to here, you can go from here to here, and go from here to here, like that. So they, they'll count how many times that shape was symmetrical. See if they,
You mean how many lines of symmetry?
yeah, lines of symmetry, yeah.
Does anybody want to show what they did so far with the, or you could use the bigger paper too, you can see the one. Yeah, okay. So you could use that paper or you can use the small one. Did you cut yours, the top? Okay, so this is the instructional method that you can use with the students. A whole class instruction is the instructional method used for this activity. As you see, we did it as a group activity, and to assess the students, we walked around to see how well you were working on your project. Small group instruction can also be used based on the students' needs. So if you have, students in the class that maybe didn't get the concept of line of symmetry, maybe you can have them work in a small group to help those students that are, other students can help each other that need extra help. And the extension for this, for the activity would be for students who understand line of symmetry. They will be given a worksheet with block numbers and work independently to determine if the numbers are symmetrical or not. So again, for those students that caught the concept of line of symmetry, you could give them a worksheet and they could work individually and they could show line of symmetry on these block numbers. Or it could also be something that they could take as a take-home for homework, the worksheet.
Two of the, well, the assessment methods. Informal assessment would obviously be like what I did earlier, where I walked around making sure that everyone was doing exactly what they were supposed to do. And also, I guess you can include asking questions as you walk around. That would be an informal way to assess the students. Formal, the teacher can create a rubric for grading students' participation and comprehension of lines of symmetry. Teacher can also have one-on-one conversing with the students. Within the workshop or within the lesson, you would have noticed that there were some assessments that were done going along. For example, in the slide where we had the shapes and we had Anita come up, that's one way of also assessing students' needs or knowledge, prior knowledge of what you're teaching them. Does anybody have any, unless you want to add something, does anyone have any questions?